4 firefighters are dead. A 4th heat wave is coming, and the commander on the ground says he is frightened for Bordeaux. France, Spain, Portugal, 3 countries, 1 inferno, and no end in sight. A holidaymaker in Gironde describes streets emptying, ash drifting, restaurants shuttered, eerie and very sad. Emmanuel Macron has promised to rebuild the forest. First, they have to save it. France and Spain remain locked in a battle against some of the worst wildfires in living memory, with firefighters racing to contain devastating blazes before another intense heatwave fuels them once again. In France's Gironde region, where wildfires have already burned through tens of thousands of hectares, emergency crews are working around the clock to stop the flames from spreading. Eric Bracardi, spokesman for France's National Firefighters Federation, described the battle as David against Goliath, revealing that 4 firefighters have lost their lives across the country in recent weeks. Around 2,000 firefighters remain deployed across Gironde, where fires have continued to ravage the countryside between the Atlantic coast and Bordeaux. Regional Prefect Sophie Brockers warned that the situation remains far from under control after 14 areas previously affected by the fires flared up again on July 28th. Meanwhile, France is preparing for its 4th heatwave of the summer, with temperatures expected to reach 40 degrees Celsius, conditions that could dramatically complicate firefighting efforts. French President Emmanuel Macron, during a visit to a crisis centre in Bordeaux, acknowledged the scale of the challenge ahead. He also pledged to rebuild a different kind of forest after visiting areas devastated by the fires. Although officials say Bordeaux itself is not currently under direct threat, one of the largest wildfires came within just 15 kilometers of the city's outskirts. Commander Rémi Lassourey, leading the firefighting operation in Gironde, said,
"We are frightened about the impact on Bordeaux and the metropolitan area."
Residents described an eerie atmosphere as smoke blanketed the city. Ash drifted through the streets and many restaurants were forced to close their doors.
By Sunday evening, everything had really begun to empty out. The air was really smoky with bits of ash. People were staying indoors, so it was eerie and very sad.
Across the border, Spain is also battling a relentless wildfire emergency. While around 44,000 people have now been allowed to return home after some evacuation orders were lifted, dozens of communities remain under threat after more than 70,000 residents were forced to flee over the past week. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez said there were still highly challenging hours and days ahead, although he believed light was beginning to appear at the end of the tunnel.
At the moment, we have 10 active wildfires in Spain. 10 active wildfires in Spain. The situation continues to evolve favourably while exercising the utmost prudence, the utmost caution, and every possible preventive measure, but it remains favourable. Right now, efforts are focused on containing the fire and cooling down affected areas, among other things, in order to prevent any possible reignition.
Elsewhere, around 400 firefighters are tackling a major wildfire burning across 3 active fronts in Portugal's eastern Guarda region. But with another spell of extreme heat approaching Western Europe, authorities warn that the battle is far from over. For thousands of firefighters and residents alike, the coming days could determine whether the worst of Europe's wildfire catastrophe has finally passed, or whether an already historic disaster is about to intensify once again.
Les gars, on est là pour ça. La règle, De Marseille à Bordeaux, au moment où on se parle, la situation est stabilisée, mais le feu n'est toujours pas fixé. Toutes les actions de lutte et de noyage, de traitement des points chauds et des reprises face auxquelles nous avons été confrontés, Madame la Préfète en faisait état hier dans son communiqué, ont été traitées. Notre vigilance est encore présente bien évidemment aujourd'hui au regard des conditions climatiques annoncées avec de nouvelles hausses de température et un vent qui devrait s'installer dès l'après-midi.
Et puis il y a aussi celui de 580.
Oui, si tu peux aller faire un petit croco, c'est que du sable. Si c'est pas trop l'instant. Pour accéder à là, donc des fois ça vaut pas le coup quoi. Je me transcrive mais que je puisse vraiment préparer.
Parce qu'en fait, au sud, là, oui. Le stand de tir, il est ici. Le stand de tir, il doit être par là.
Alors, actuellement, 3 secteurs focalisent notre attention. Le nord de la presqu'île du Cap Ferré, le secteur au sud de Marcheprime, le triangle Marcheprime, Cestas, Saint-Jean-d'Illac focalise encore notre attention. Et puis nous avons eu un départ important sur le secteur de Martignas au niveau d'une structure militaire. Et là aussi, elle a nécessité un engagement de beaucoup de moyens et un dispositif de surveillance reste en l'état, toujours sur place. Plus de 2200 sapeurs-pompiers sont toujours déployés sur le terrain avec une diversité, je dirais, institutionnelle. La quasi-totalité des sapeurs-pompiers de France sont là. Nos homologues européens sont venus nous prêter main forte au sol et dans les airs. Nous avons une flotte d'une plus d'une vingtaine d'aéronefs, air tractors, Dash, Canadair, hélicoptères bombardiers d'eau qui sont actuellement déployés. Et la stratégie est toujours la même. On frappe vite, on frappe fort sur toute émanation de nouvelles fumées.